Somebody got, this past weekend, somebody told me, I missed the can pop. I think they're about to get one.
I've been popping them every show.
I think you're about to get one.
That's not true.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
No, they didn't.
I swear to God.
Somebody literally said I missed the can pop?
Yep.
I've been popping cans every damn show in homage.
To
our predecessor and, frankly, to our beginnings.
To the beginnings.
As unhumble as they might be. I got to start the clock.
Okay. Look at you. You're juggling a lot.
I got a lot on my mind today.
A lot on your mind. All right.
You know when I start the episode, we're going to start it well ahead of this, right? We're going to let all this play out. It's all coming in.
Welcome back to the #1 financial literacy podcast in the world. This is the Higher Standard. Sitting in front of me is my partner in time, rocking the old school camo fitted cap, Christopher Nahibi.
Let the people breathe.
Yeah.
And, of course, sitting next to me, across from me, looking, very professional.
Employed?
Yeah, and employed. Employment looks good on you. I look like a hobo, don't I?
Employed.
The one and only Saied Omar, making money for everybody.
Thank you, my man.
Oh, clap. There you go.
And sitting behind the desk, we have the Fijian himself, Rajeil. What's up, my man?
What's up, guys? Ready for a great episode?
Let's do this.
All right.
Can pop early.
Yeah, courtesy of Saied. C4. We're not sponsored by C4, but we should be.
Exactly.
Yeah. I am a heavy endorser of the brand. I like the product. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
It's a great product.
Great flavors.
All right.
Saeed's trying to dive right into the show notes, but I'm just trying to soul search with everybody. Rajeil, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing okay, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You feeling good?
Feeling good.
You look good.
Oh, thank you.
I got to tell you, it was nice to see you guys walk in the studio today. It's been head down, me working on being unemployed, and it's really nice to see some guys who are employed walk into the studio and make me feel good about myself. So thank you very much.
So today's episode.
Oh, we're doing one of those, yeah.
We're doing one of those. We've gotten a lot of love, by the way. Episode 291, episode 293, and now this is going to be episode 295. School failed you, your job failed you, and so did conventional wisdom.
Yeah, that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And people have been really enjoying this deep dive type of content.
And it all stems from the book that I had started to write, and I thought to myself that this would be a great platform to share it on. It is. So I should probably back up a little bit. When we started the show, we spent a lot of time talking about like current events, which I think we still do. Mm-hmm. And we'll do on this episode a little bit too, because there's been some crazy shit going down.
Some people are unemployed now.
Yeah. If you're in the Bureau of Labor Statistics, for example.
Yeah, the commissioner. Yeah.
Yeah, you may be unemployed.
Yeah.
Pull the curtain over a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't do that. We are all sorts of off our game tonight, huh?
Okay,
it's just
okay,
strange.
okay.
So yeah, Trump got some numbers from the employment revisions that were revised downward, and he felt that he was going to take matters into his own hands, and he fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics in large part in response to this data.
Yeah. So the latest July jobs report that recently came out so by the time this episode drops, like the first Friday of this month, that's generally when it gets released.
Yeah.
It revised the previous 2 months, basically saying 250,000 fewer jobs were created than what.
Oops.
I mean, minor revision. I mean, this isn't anything new, right? There have been revisions almost every single month, and it's just because the way the data is collected is, I mean, would you say outdated?
Well, I've had this problem with all of the data that gets collected for reporting by the government, by the way. But yeah, I think it's outdated. I think it's antiquated. I think that they're relying too much on tertiary factors when we live in a very digital economy and things move much faster now.
Mm-hmm.
So to get payroll data 6 month lagging behind and suggesting that's a good barometer for what the economy looks like today is pretty disconnected given how fast things move now.
Yeah. So for everyone to understand how this works, they have approximately about 130,000 companies that they reach out to, asking for them to survey. Now they have to willingly provide this data,
honestly provide it. Let's be honest there.
Let's be honest, not like the reviews that we get, right? But honestly, like they have to allow themselves to work more, right? I mean, how many people are gonna just fill out a survey just for the betterment of, let's just say, the jobs report? How many companies are actually going to take the time to do that? So when they're selected to do it and then they don't do it, what do they do at the Bureau of Labor Statistics? They estimate.
Yeah, those estimations can be a problem.
And then when you estimate, and then when they get the actual data from, let's just say, non-farm payrolls or ADP or wherever, then they have to adjust.
So because I have a good analysis for this, and it might offend some, I want to say this is a part of the show that we provide a parental advisory for. It's like asking a guy how big his penis is. He's going to estimate it, but he's never going to estimate it down. Okay? He's always going to estimate it up, just in case.
And then there used to be revisions. Yeah.
There'll be revisions after coitus.
Yeah, after it's been exposed, right? Yeah.
So you might have an honest conversation at that point in time. And that's kind of what the numbers are. For those of you in the economic sphere, you know that probably a more accurate representation is the ADP report, right? Where you get payroll data from ADP, a private payroll provider who actually pays people. They're actually paying people monthly in real time, actually bi-monthly in most cases. So they have usually a good estimate, at least they're supposed to, but I've seen some pretty big holes in their data historically as well. So there is not really a good solution. What I thought was really going on here was a different story, though.
Okay.
I don't think Trump really cares about the revisions in payroll data.
Yeah, what is neglected here on his part is the fact that he needed this report to be bad to get the rate cuts.
To put pressure on the Fed, the FOMC, for a rate cut. And because he's been working in the backgrounds to threaten Jerome Powell, which we've covered on previous shows, who he cannot directly fire without actual cause, and disagreeing on his fiscal policy is not monetary policy, is not the reason to do that.
Right.
So what I thought was really happening was this was a shot across the bow, right? So as a reminder, the FOMC has two mandates. Saied, you want to kick it off?
Yeah, they want to make sure that they provide stable prices, right? And provide maximum employment for the peoples.
And if the maximum employment number was a bit wrong, and you're trying to put pressure on the man to quit, he can point to that data and say, I wasn't wrong, look.
Right.
And now you have the president going, not only is that data wrong, but I'm going to fire this lady and you're next.
Yeah, exactly. So, and Rajeil just pulled this up. This from Bloomberg Business. Breaking: President Donald Trump said he was directing officials to fire Erica. Can't pronounce her last name.
McIntyre for her.
Yeah.
For her.
The commissioner of the Bureau of Labor said hours after reports show U.S. job growth cooling sharply over the last 3 months. Now, the report also went on to say that the economy had weakened since Trump began his recent tenure.
Yep.
And it said that inflation in June had picked up largely in part due to Trump's tariffs. So he's basically saying, hey, everything you guys are seeing right now, it's because of one man. I mean, they put his name on it.
And that's the article. And I understand the perspective. I'm not taking a political side in this dogfight, but what I will tell you is you're going to hear a whole hell of a lot more about this as we approach the September FOMC meeting, where there is a generally significant consensus of people who believe that is when your first real probability of a rate cut is.
Okay, and now let's go behind the curtain a little bit. Okay?
Sexy.
Yeah. Go behind the curtain. Let's peel it.
Yeah.
Peel the onion. What does this say to everybody else who works on these data models, who are providing these data reports, or another commissioner of another department that he's relying on, where you may have to print something that's not favorable, that doesn't look good? I mean, now you have to start questioning. He just fired somebody for reporting accurate data, right? Making revisions that they're supposed to make. I mean, that causes fear. And when he was asked about it, they asked him, so should people be trusting the numbers? And he says, why would you trust numbers?
Yeah, weird response. Yeah, I saw that.
You know what I mean? So it's like, how is anybody supposed to take that?
I don't know that you're supposed to take it any type of way. I think you should be agnostic to it, frankly. So look, the government is an imperfect system. If that's news to anybody listening to the show, you haven't listened to enough episodes. Listen to more. Okay? The government is very imperfect, and there's an ideological disconnect between how they do things and how corporations would do things. And yet, ironically, the United States is arguably the largest corporation in the world. I look at some of these things and I think to myself, a little bit of fear, and I don't want anybody to lose their job, but in this instance, a little bit of fear in the ecosystem of reporting is important, right? You can't get a job, get tenured, be there forever, and just think that you have this job forever. You still have to perform. And if you're going to be revising data up or down, I think you have to do a better job, particularly when there's this much scrutiny. I mean, know your audience, read the room, right? She knew what she was reporting was a major part of what the FOMC was looking at. And she knew when she reported it that it was light. Now, for all you and I know, she had an opportunity to say something earlier internally off the record and didn't do so, which could have changed the paradigm as far as rate cuts go. So there's probably a lot there we'll never know in total. But I think sending a message like this is important for a number of reasons. Not saying that I co-sign it, but just saying that I think everybody who's in the data sphere should be on top of their game right now, looking at the stuff they're reporting because it's a critical time in the economy. You got economists like Mark Zandi, who I'm a big fan of. He's out there saying we are inches away from recessionary economy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Mohammed Al-Rain earlier today. Everybody that I know that I've always felt has been somewhat even keel on whether they have a recession, not recession kind of stance, is leaning heavily towards recession now. Yet the data seems to not really support those conclusions. And I think it's very tactile for them. I think it's how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see how the consumers feel, right?
Yeah.
Most economists aren't like balling unless, you're Nouriel Roubini. So, they feel that way.
Right. And this is probably the first report in a long time that came out and that got published that probably made people feel like that report makes more sense with how I feel right now.
Yeah.
Right? Like the reports of us adding 120,000, 150,000, 300,000 jobs. It's like, hold on, wait a minute. The economy is doing great, but I'm feeling pinched every single month. This doesn't make any sense. And now, if there was only a government agency that could make things more efficient.
I sense sarcasm here.
I mean, because things are a little outdated. I wish they would modernize the way the data is collected.
Yeah, that whole thing fell off the
happened?
grid pretty quickly, right?
Well, I mean,
no one's talking about
if
it.
there was anything that needed to become more efficient, is the data that gets reported, that gets analyzed, that controls the Fed funds rate, that ultimately controls the health of the economy. Right?
Oh, yeah. Rajeil, the estimated savings as reported by the Department of Government Efficiency, amount saved per taxpayer, $1,236.02.
Now, just because they printed this, I'm supposed to believe it. Yeah.
Because they're saying they saved an estimated $199 billion.
And we know from previous episodes that they've actually calculated these figures wrong.
Yeah, just clearly wrong.
Like 10x wrong.
Not even debatable.
For those 10xers out there that love 10xing.
And if you listen to the show, I hate you.
Don't stop getting into our DMs and be like, bro, how do I 10x, bro?
I want to be like Grant Cardone.
Bro.
How do I do it?
Yeah, I just want to do it the ethical way.
Yeah. Well, there is no ethical way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to work hard.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, I don't know what that's like anymore. What am I talking about? I'm unemployed. What do you guys think?
That's kind of what we're going to be getting into today. We've all been fed this, I don't know. It's not that I completely disagree with this, but if I work hard, I will become successful. That's the dream that has been pushed onto us.
And it's a fallacy. And that's actually a great example, and we hadn't planned that, so kudos to you for being on the, receiving end of the lob. But episode 291, we talked about education being a part of the problem. Episode 293, we talked about corporate America being a big part of the problem. Well, this episode 295, we're going to tell you the continuation of the problem, and it's the old wives' tales. It's the logic. It's the things we think are good. And if you want a proxy, I know a lot of you are health and fitness listeners. Shout out to Mind Pump, where most of you came from. Mind Pump, Mind Pump, Mind Pump.
Oh, and Sexy Adam.
God damn, so sexy.
Mm-hmm. It's
Jesus.
Moment of silence for how sexy he is.
Yep, that was good.
That was good.
True story. People thought I was him walking in out of the gym.
Don't see now. You can't. Wow. Can't do that. We're complimenting how sexy. It's true story, by the way.
I'm just saying. I ain't,
Come on.
sexier, Chris, but I'm okay. I'm holding my own.
All right.
For a fat guy. God, when I look back at the episode I did there, I was so chubby. How'd you let me go on that episode looking like that,
bro? And you before the show, you had a big beefy breakfast burrito.
Oh, huge. I was going in there satiated. It was not ideal, but it was it did okay. But I was looking back at that episode the other day, not perfect. So the reason why we're bringing all this up is there are a lot of things you used to think in health and fitness in those communities that were healthy for you that you now know aren't true. Yet there's still all sorts of people all over the internet. There's the Lane Nortons of the world who are very science-based, and you've got the Gary Breckers of the world who have very controversial takes on things, and you go back and forth, and sometimes you find out things that they're saying are true, and sometimes you find out things that they're saying are wrong, and then you got guys like Lane who are breaking down everything based on just science as we know it today. But even science changes, right? So you see we thought that sugar was bad, and then it was good, and then it was bad again, and then you think, well, fat's good, and then it's bad, and then it's good again, and then you go back and there was a period of time where smoking cured ailments, where cocaine was in Coca-Cola. Well, we've done the same thing financially with outdated ideology that are not based on any type of science or math or real, frankly, experience. But yet we believe in them. We believe in them so wholeheartedly that they become so ingrained in our culture that we don't see that we're missing the concept. And this episode is designed to break that down.
Mhm.
to break down the barriers of what you think are keeping you poor. But you're not poor by accident. You're not, and you're poor by design. The system, all the way through school, through work, has bred this logic into you. And then guess what? Your parents, your grandparents, the people who have been dealt this hand their entire adult lives, are now preaching this to you as wisdom.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You have the internet preaching it to you as wisdom. And they seem believable. Why? Because they really do believe it. When in fact, these concepts are generally not coming to you from multimillionaires.
Right.
They're coming to people you look to from a moral superiority, from an ethical role model. Sure.
Yeah.
Good, high ethics, dedicated parents. Sure.
Mm-hmm. Who just wanted to preach security.
But
right?
Wildly successful millionaires?
No.
Far and few between.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
it's true. I mean, some of the supporting data that we have here to back this is since the 1970s, U.S. productivity has risen over 60%, while real wages have barely moved, according to Pew Research. I mean, I'm not mature enough to be able to cite that.
Pew, pew.
Pew. I mean, it's right there. The average hourly wage in 1973, adjusted for inflation, was $23.68. In 2023, it was $23.07, a decline. Right. Meanwhile, the cost of home ownership has exploded. Median home price in 1970 was $23,000. Think about that. It's actually true. The neighbor in front of my house told me that he bought his house for $17,000. And he told me, and I know how much you bought yours for. And he started laughing at me. I'm like, come on, bruh.
Yeah.
That's you can't do that. He's like, oh, by the way, my dad owned that house and my mom owned that house.
Stop it. Really?
That's literally what he told me.
Man,
Yeah.
that's hurtful.
Versus the $417,700 in 2024.
And the problem is a lot of people like your friend here live through historical context. And that historical context was a very different time in the world and frankly in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Post-World War II boom created a generation of wealth via home ownership, pensions, and single-income households. That model is frankly dead. We've covered that on the last show. And it really isn't something that is practical, frankly. Right? I mean, more people than I can count that I know have dual income in the house, but also a third income from a side hustle.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife just started a side hustle, by the way.
Yeah, well, she's doing great too. I see the following.
Yeah, she's doing pretty well. It's been a good thing. I'm actually thinking about having her and the wives on the show at some point in time, separately, because all three of them in the same room.
That might be problems for you and I.
Yeah, it's problems for everybody.
And the Fijian.
Rajeil, you okay with that?
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
Oh, look at the confidence.
Yeah, that seems like false confidence.
That's BDE.
Yeah,
right
you can
there.
tell exactly what happens. There's no BDE. As soon as we go off the hot mic, say, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" No,
I got no problem, bro. Yeah, it's cool, bro.
Yeah, my problem isn't with that; it's with you.
Yeah, right.
Also, the Reagan era ushered in deregulation and trickle-down economics, which widened the wealth gap dramatically. You never heard about people saying, "Hey, the middle class vanishing."
Mm-hmm.
That really started in the Reagan era, where like little tiny tweaks made those changes. But now we're seeing the impacts of those trickle-down economics, and now we're seeing the middle class get wiped out because of the home affordability issue, which you just noted. The home affordability issue is going to be something we look back on in 10, 15, 20 years and say this generation has a lower net worth, a significantly lower net worth because they could not buy sooner.
Yeah, and I feel like for the economy, the health of the economy as a whole, this plays a major role. If you can't sell people on that dream, on owning a home, if people start buying into the rhetoric of I'll never be able to own a home, or it doesn't make sense for me to own a home. I think the average age not too long ago for people to buy their first home was 28, 29 years old, right? Yeah. Now it's 36, 37 years old. Yeah. And for most people, that means they're delaying other things in their life that they want to do, like start a family, right?
100%.
And you couple that with what's going on. Everyone is, I think, the younger generation in their 20s are more afraid now than ever before. They're afraid. They feel like they can't afford to make mistakes. Hence why they go down this path of I'm just going to go to school. I'm going to commit to getting a good, safe job, and I'm just going to have my 401k, and I'll be happy with that. because
Yeah,
they don't feel like.
But that's the problem, though, is we've now been preaching them. You got to buy a home. You got to buy a home because that's what your grandparents did. That's what your parents did, and it was much more attainable to them.
Well, I think society. That's how they measure success.
Yeah, but again, an outdated norm. Like you can't tell everybody to buy a home because guess what? If you're trying to save to buy a home, you should be investing to build wealth because right now that's a whole hell of a lot easier than buying a home right now. And if your investments do such a good job that you have the excess capital to put down into a home as a down payment, then good for you. Go do that.
Right. Don't forget, like, sitting on the outside and looking in on somebody's situation, it might look like because they own a home, things are looking up, right? But you don't know what stresses they might be under. You being in control of your own time and being able to make your own decisions and move the way you want to move, meaning you're not tied to one job, or I can afford to make these investments or take this risk in starting this business. In my opinion, now looking back as a 39-year-old, that's real wealth, right? That's success.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Financial freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's going to be a resounding theme actually in this episode. And we're going to talk a lot about that through a lot of the fears that we bring up, and look, again, it goes back to the whole fear-based culture, and it really bothers me a whole lot. But the American dream today, a $500,000 house with 3.5% down, which by the way, rates are not this low.
Yeah.
Right now. So it's actually worse than this. Financed by a 30-year FHA loan and about 40% of your take-home pay. You don't own the dream, you're renting it from the bank. And that's a very Grant Cardone-ish like take, but it's not wrong.
Right.
Right? Like, I don't have a problem with someone like a guru out there saying, hey, don't buy a home. These are the things you got to deal with. Exactly what you just said. For all those reasons.
Yeah.
What I have a problem with is them saying, hey, don't buy a home, but invest in property through me.
Yeah.
That's self-serving. You're now taking someone's fear and their weakness and turning it into your profit vehicle. That's where I'm like, you're a piece of shit.
So what would you say to the type of person that's like, okay, my cup of tea is investing in real estate, but I don't make enough to invest in real estate.
Real estate investment trust.
Right. So for like the average investor, I mean, can you make good money as an investor through a real estate investment trust? I mean, because I know that, the people out there like Grant Cardone are promising a certain return, right?
Yeah, but that return is typically done in a very different way. And I think people hear returns, they go, oh, I'm making 12% a year or 11% a year. That is typically not what you're seeing in a syndication-like structure. Let's break this down a little bit. Let's take some time. Let's be thoughtful.
Let's do it.
Let's actually sound like we're employed tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
A real estate investment trust is a tax-benefited trust, right? They have a different tax structure, so they're allowed to pass more profits on to you, the end consumer, right? If you buy them like you would a piece of stock, they have a QSIP, and you buy them like a piece of stock, and you buy them the same way you would a mutual fund, index fund, you buy a real estate investment trust, you get the benefit of their investments into real estate, right? Because you're backing them basically, and they're buying real estate with it. But you're getting it with a much better tax basis. But you also get the upside and some write-offs and some benefits that you otherwise. Oh, look, there's a bug in the studio. Got it.
You did.
I'm out here. I'm like a ninja, bro.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Didn't even need no chopsticks.
Miyagi out here.
I'm out here. But you're getting the benefit of a tax benefit. You would same the benefit you would get into owning real estate yourself directly, almost identical to that via owning that. So you would get your pro rata share of the real estate investment trust assets, because if you bought like one share, you're going to get a lot less than you bought like 100.
There you go.
So same way to get that. Now, those in real estate investment trusts will get benefit over selling assets over time and hitting certain returns, but those are generally you're getting passive income on rents and maybe some liquidation of some assets when they do some equity play, but it's rare. Generally speaking, they're set up for some time. Now, on the other hand, a syndication, you're buying into ownership of a property, generally one, right? And they're syndicating out the ownership structure. So you, Saied, say, hey, I want you, Chris and Rajeil, to give me money and I'll return my investment on you. And your investment's going to be your percentage of the rent every single month. And then it's going to be whenever we sell this thing in like 10 years, it's going to be that equity upside appreciation.
But then what if you want to get out of that kind of a deal?
Generally speaking, these are illiquid, or you have to get special authority from the guy putting the syndication together, who then has to take a vote of all the other shareholders to allow you to be liquidated, because it's going to take away assets from the syndication vehicle. The problem with people like Cardone is they take the average return on assets over the last like 5 or 10 years and say, okay, you can expect about that in 10 years. But that hasn't happened yet for him. He hasn't liquidated one of those yet. So really what you're getting is just your pro rata share of the rent every single month. And as a guy who owns a lot of property, I can tell you that isn't meaningful unless you own a lot of property or unless it's got very, very low leverage. But here's the problem, is that even if they finance 50% of the property, there's a lot of people like you out there who are helping to finance that 50% of the property, and you're not a meaningful portion of it. So you're going to get a very, very, very small check return on your dollars. In most cases, I think I've seen it somewhere between 6 and 7% as a high number for a lot of syndications.
I mean, at that point, you would have been better off just going into the S&P 500 and let NVIDIA make you rich.
Precisely, but all those people will then bank on the idea, but I got upside coming to me, Chris. I got equity upside coming to me. You don't know that.
Right.
Is it a good probability? Yeah, depending on how long it goes.
Yeah.
But it can go on much longer than you want. And what if you need those assets now? You have no way to get that cash out. It's illiquid, generally.
Yeah, so a real estate investment trust for people out there that are interested in maybe getting into real estate just because you feel more comfortable and you feel like it might be a safer asset. But back onto our theme of things that we've been taught to make us afraid. A lot of people don't understand credit, and it scares them because they don't know how to build credit or maintain their good credit, right?
That's right.
And a lot of that is actually dependent on how much debt you can manage.
Yeah.
So a high credit score doesn't mean you're good with money. It means you're good with debt. FICO scores reward debt behavior, not wealth building behavior. Paying off your mortgage or staying out of debt, that could actually lower your score.
And Rajeil pulled this up. This is actually something I've referred to a lot of times on previous shows when we first started the podcast. 35% of your FICO score is made up of payment history. 10% is your credit mix, whether that's long-term or short-term stuff. We'll get into that in a minute. 15 is your lengths of credit history, how long you've had credit cards or mortgage payments. If you've had them for 10 years, if you had them for 15 years, it further bolsters your score versus if you've had them for a year. It just shows a longer duration. 10% is how much new credit do you have. It's actually new credit is generally bad for you. You don't want to add new credit, but it does have some benefits where it'll give you more credit exposure. And 30% is your amount owed. Some cheat codes here is your payment history is going to be your biggest portion of this 35%. So don't make late payments. Pretty simple.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I mean, one 30-day late payment could set you back.
Yep.
Right. So just, for a lot of people, what helps them with this is at least having an automatic payment set up for the minimum. That way you're covered.
Yep. One thing that I've seen really propel scores is having a good mix of credit. It's not uncommon for a younger person to have credit cards for 5, 6, 7 years, but their credit score is still roughly low. And the reason why your weightings are off, what you want to do is you get an auto loan or a home loan or some type of installment debt. And unfortunately, student loans do not count towards this. That auto loan shows that you can make a commitment, draw a large amount of money to buy something, and then pay it down over time consistently.
Yeah, a lot of people get a major boost in their credit score once they pay off an auto loan.
In a lot of ways, it anchors your score. So even if you have, for example, some new credit, because you have that installment debt that's been out there for a long period of time, generally speaking, it'll anchor your score and prop it up a little higher.
Is that one of the things that I've heard parents do this, where they set their kids up and put their name on the auto loan? And
it can be that. It can be a number of reasons. I generally don't like it when parents do that unless you absolutely have to get something done transactional at that moment in time. I think
just to set their kids up with a better credit
the score should be pretty good in the beginning.
They should be, right?
Yeah.
The length of credit history. This one has helped me a lot more than I actually knew. So I had a college credit card, a Wells Fargo college credit card when I first got out, or when I was first in college, and but all my banking relationship once I got married, I transferred over to Chase, right? But I never closed down that college credit card. So my limit never increased, but because of the length of history has been there since college, right? That helps me a lot. So you'll get notices in the mail, like you haven't used your card in a while. If you don't use it by X date, we will shut down your card. And you want to make sure that doesn't happen. If I did that, then that would wipe away 25 years for me.
Yeah, and there's also the amounts owed. Like you don't want to use too much of your available credit, even though you have it available to you. You want to typically use about 25 to 30% and then pay it off every month if you can.
Right. So then if a card closes down, then that actually increases your overall percentage, right?
And unfortunately, this is not about your financial health. This is about gaming the system. We've just given you cheat codes on how to game the system, but that doesn't make you a better borrower or a more creditworthy person. It just shows that Saied has been paying and playing the system for a long period of time. It's all about your bankability, and you are the end product to somebody who looks at the score. But let me challenge this traditional norm. Do we really use credit the same way as our parents did?
No, I don't think so.
In some ways, yeah, but in a lot of ways, no. If you're a kid and you live in a major metropolitan area, is it better to have a car payment, or is it better to Uber when you need to?
Yeah, right.
Right? if you're a younger person and you don't have a family and you like new areas or being around different places, do you sign a lease or do you use Airbnb? Right? You can use long-term rentals like that, right? So if you did those things, you could essentially walk away with no real traditional credit score metrics or trade lines from this activity. If you've done well for yourself, I see this a lot with a lot of wealthy kids. They've never used anything besides an ATM debit card. Why do I need a credit card? Why should I be less bankable because I have not utilized this? Shouldn't that make me more bankable? I mean, when you think about it, it's like, well, kind of, right? And yeah, there's circumstances you have to do what you have to deal with, but there's behavioral stuff, which is really interesting too, with the rise of AI that has really changed this. AI can predict your spending a whole hell of a lot better.
Which, by the way, based on the conversation we had earlier today, we got to do a full breakdown on some of the stuff that people can do with AI.
Yeah, I mean, I should probably point out to the listeners that I geek out on AI. I geek out on aliens. I geek out on Egypt. I geek out on a lot of these topics that I just find really interesting. And I went down a rabbit hole over the weekend on AI. I wanted to understand some of the models for image and video creation better. But I learned a lot of really cool things about what I'm using it for wrong. And I use AI probably more than most people do. I typically use ChatGPT, the learning language model. I'm using the paid subscription service. It's the 4.0 model. And like, for example, I wanted to create consistency of images for a long time. And I realize now that I've been putting in images saying, hey, create a similar image. And that, when you think about it as a human perspective, that makes total sense. Like, you know, I could tell you to create a similar image and you could probably look at it and go, okay, that means
makes
this.
some minor tweaks, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, there's way better ways to provide consistency with a learning language model. And the answer is give me a JSON code, which is the coding that's behind this, for this image. And then you can then replace what the image describes in the JSON code for tree to a car, car to a camera, camera to a watch.
Now you're speaking in the language of the AI model.
Of the learning language model, and it knows to just give you that exact same description, but for a tree.
Yeah.
And it works phenomenally well. You get consistency of images over time. There's also visual models, which are spectacular. I hadn't played a whole lot on Google's Veo model.
I haven't either.
And I played a lot with it this weekend, just trying to create videos and images based on descriptions, and it was phenomenal.
There's actually, you can go into your settings, and I know on chat, I have the paid version too, 4.0, and you can, in your settings, you can input a prompt that basically removes the ability of, or remove it being ultra biased towards you, and have it actually point out the plot holes in your questioning or your reasoning. So it's actually working with you to.
Oh, another bug. Look at you. Go Ninja. Go
No,
Ninja,
I missed it.
Oh, yeah, you did. Not as fast as me, bro.
Go Ninja, huh?
All that fur, you think you'd trap some of those little bastards in there.
Venus flytrap?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here we go. So number 3 on our list here that we wanted to dive into was the consumer illusion. You're not free. You just have 12 streaming services, a leased car, and a student loan bill. We've traded ownership for access, and that access is bought on credit. What feels like freedom is just consumption with better branding.
So, modern credit scoring system was developed by Fair Isaac in 1989. It's a lot different today than it was then. So it should come as no surprise that the ideology of freedom that came in the 1980s versus today is different. But we've bought into this illusion. We've bought into this thought, right? Credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, these all became profit centers for banks. And I'm a former banker. So me telling you that isn't speculation. I've lived it. And I've seen how incredibly profitable it can be. You're not free. None of us are. And I'll tell you the best way you can take a proxy for this. Go look at how many subscriptions you have. And I can tell you that as much as I have tried to avoid subscription services, I'm fully ingratiated now.
Exactly. They make it to where you can't live without it.
Because for businesses, it's an incredible revenue model. You pay them every month. It's predictable. It's stable.
Yeah.
And you can grow it. And that's why they love it, right? The problem for you as a consumer is you are spending that money every single month regardless because you want that product or service.
Right. And their customer base falls into routine.
Mhm.
You are now living with this service, and for you to go out of your way to cancel it, it's probably going to impact you a lot.
Have you ever done this? Have you gone to like your Apple, for example, like your subscriptions?
Yeah. It's all for us. It was always, in the beginning, we had to really monitor everything we had for the kids.
Yeah.
The kids stuff is where they really get you, because a lot of times you're just signing up and you probably just forget about it, right?
I try to monitor those regularly, but it's not just the kid stuff. Like I did this with my wife a couple nights ago, just out of morbid curiosity, because I wanted to know, because I'm the guy who likes watching television and film. We switched from cable a while ago, right? Cable is expensive.
Yeah, to YouTube TV.
$80 a month.
Mhm.
Okay, not 300, sure. But then I'm like, wait a minute, we pay for fiber optic cable at the house,
Mhm.
$70 a month.
But you're going to pay for that regardless.
Yeah, I was, but you start adding these things up, and you go,
Mhm.
okay, wait, I'm paying for HBO,
Yep.
right? I'm paying for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying for Disney Plus. I'm paying for Amazon. Comes with Amazon Prime, but you know what I mean? Like I'm
Mhm.
paying for all these things.
Yeah.
And I'll find myself going to different apps looking for the best content.
Wiki feet.
I just love the footsies.
Yeah.
The arch,
Yeah.
the ball, the little nubbies in the side. Rajeil, you getting turned on right now?
I see him giggling back there.
Yeah.
Too bad the curtain's open.
The one that honestly that I'm so close to pulling the trigger on every single month is just YouTube by itself, no ads. I so badly just wanted to pull the trigger.
I've had no desire to do that.
No,
To not pay. I will let the ads play. Like I know it's a waste of time.
It doesn't bother you at all. Like,
bothers
hurry
me-
up and get to the point, man.
What bothers me, there's two types of ads on YouTube which piss me off to no end. First of all, the long one, fuck you. Okay?
Why? Yeah.
Every once in a while, you get one that's like a minute long.
You're like, dang, you pay for that?
like, what are you doing to me, YouTube? Like,
Right.
you knew people were gonna be mad about this, and you're like, fucking put it up.
Yeah, and they know exactly when to drop
And
it.
you can't skip.
Yeah, come on, man.
Dirty.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm like, I just want to pay for it so it's out of the way.
And that leads me as a nice segue to my other type of ad, where you get two ads in a row, and the first one you can't skip.
Oh, man. Is it one of two?
Yeah, I call it the Punisher. You giving me the Punisher? Is that what it is? Not the Diddy Punisher, the Marvel Punisher. Don't be dirty.
Stop it.
Don't be dirty.
You only brought up the Diddy.
Don't be dirty.
Still in jail, by the
Who-
way.
He's back there laughing. Who, Diddy?
Yeah.
I thought he was out.
Is he?
I can't even tell anymore.
No, you can't
Rajeil,
tell.
your thing's all pop culture. Is Diddy out?
Oh, you the pop culture guy?
He's Googling it right now. He's like, shit, I don't know.
Is Diddy out of jail? Let's
Yeah, no.
Is Diddly diddling again?
We're asking because you know it's around the corner.
No, you know what? He's not out because
No,
juror
AI,
number, yeah.
AI, no.
No, juror number 3 was supposed to be his ex-wife, and she wrote a letter today to the court asking for him to be released, which was weird. I know that because I read that this morning while I was not working.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not working. Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. You're going to come out looking very different. I guarantee you that.
Mm.
So the subscription economy took off in 2010s. What began with Netflix has expanded to everything from razors to Teslas. I mean, Hims has a subscription. I would know.
Yeah.
I just heard.
Yeah.
But you can get subscriptions for everything. Even Amazon. You want subscription delivery of the products you consistently use? Here you go. Subscribe. What the hell, man?
Yeah.
We don't want subscriptions for everything. Because you know what you're doing to me? Here's what you're doing to me, America. Okay, here's what you're doing.
All right.
All right? I got to pay my subscription tax fee to the government. Right? Assuming I had a job. I realize I don't have a job right now. But if I were making money, I had to pay my subscription tax fee to the government.
Right.
Then I got to pay all my subscriptions here. I mean, how is there going to be money left over at the end of the day?
No, I know.
Right? It starts getting crazy. Buy now, pay later only makes this problem worse. Because guess what you do? You buy something now, you get the benefit of it. It's glorified layaway.
Yeah.
And then you pay it like a subscription over time. It's expected to reach $437 billion in global transactions by 2027.
And you know what they're preying on? They're preying on consumer behavior because they know that these are, miniature dopamine hits that the consumer gets, right? I want to have access to my HBO show.
Yeah.
Right? I want to have access to YouTube TV. I want to have access to all these other things. And it's just, these make my life easier. So it's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll just continue to deal with it because it makes my life easier.
And it gives you that small hit of dopamine.
Yeah.
This is the messed up part about being human. We all have to
Right?
accept.
Yeah. Going to your phone, opening up, hitting the app, and
Dopamine.
just boom, got in.
Your phone is a mini casino. Every time you open it up, you get a tiny hit of dopamine, just like you would on pulling that old school handle in the casino.
No. And that's not even like hyperbole. Like
That's real. No,
literally,
it was studied,
when they created the phones, they were actually analyzing it to recreate that same effect.
That's where the infinite scroll loop came from.
Yeah.
Right? If you go down and there's more there, you're like, ooh, more, more,
yeah.
That's dopamine, dopamine.
No, yeah, exactly.
Right?
No different than the slot machine just continues to roll.
Oh, 100%. And we talked about this at lunch. We have moved from oh, God, look, Saeed's got all this influence to they don't even show you your timeline now in a timeline.
Yeah,
It's not chronological anymore. You know what it is? Saeed likes seeing foot pics. Let's show him more foot pics.
No, my For You page is all basketball training.
Right. I get what you're saying, like allegedly. But what I'm saying is that you don't even see like a normal chronological timeline from your friends anymore. What you get are the posts they think you will like. They are training your brain. They, being social media, is training your brain to be desensitized to dopamine.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because now you see a picture you like. Ooh. But now you see more and more pictures. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Then you see an ad for a conversation you had at lunch. You're like, ooh, how did you know?
And then it requires a more extreme thing to get the ooh out of you.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because then we wind up becoming a more extreme culture because you get more and more desensitized over time. But spending is no different.
Mm-hmm.
Buy one subscription, buy two subscriptions. Fuck it. We're all buying 40 subscriptions. Yep. You're desensitized to it. You just want the dopamine hit.
You feel rich with $1,000 iPhone, a car with Apple CarPlay, and access to 1,000 shows. Meanwhile, you have a negative net worth and no emergency savings fund.
Most people do not. Rajeil, I can't read what the hell that is. What does it say?
got you right here, bro. The part of the brain that is affected by screen time is known as the frontal cortex. We talked about this, not fully developed to the age of 26.
In some cases, 45.
The outer layer of the brain that processes information. Studies show that screen time can cause physical changes to the brain that are similar to those caused by cocaine. This is especially damaging to young people as their brains are still developing. Now, would Hunter Biden say that if it was crack cocaine, it's okay? Or that's what he said, bro. He said it burns away all the chemicals. That's what he said, not me. I didn't say that.
Nope.
Not touching it.
Rajeil, you got anything?
Whose bag was it at the White House?
Oh. I can't take you to anywhere. Jesus Christ. All right, so I'm going to say something that's equally as offensive, considering we've crossed the crack line.
Yeah.
Okay. This is modern day indentured servitude, okay? Mm-hmm. Not to one master, but to your financial obligations. The whole point of this show, the reason why we started it, was that we were trying to break people free of this type of, I guess, self-slavery, if you will. Like you're a slave to the obligations. You were, I don't even know how to describe it. It's this weird parasitic cyclical loop, right? Mm-hmm. You feel like you deserve the accoutrement of success. So you spend on things to make you feel better.
Yeah.
But then you don't have enough to buy the things you want. So you buy little things along the way, which further take away from your ability to get the things you want.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Someone says, oh, you didn't buy a house? You're a failure. You should buy a house. Okay, well, I mean, houses cost like $1 billion now. Mm-hmm. All right? What do you want me to do?
Right. Yeah,
you know?
That's true. Yeah, I was just going to say, and you couple that with society's challenges, right, where they constantly measure you, and then you got the Instagram posts. And this is why I stayed away from Instagram for as long as I did, because I know that you're only getting the posts. So my kids go on summer vacation, right? And they say, oh, so-and-so's going to Paris this summer, and so-and-so's going
vacation,
right? Right? And
it's
then
real.
and this is to my kids, 9 and 7.
Yeah, I know.
Right? And my kids not knowing any different, right? They go, where are we going? Right? And you tell them, I had to tell them, like, listen, you said so-and-so and so-and-so, right? Those are two people. How many kids are in your class? 24, 25, whatever. I'm like, how many kids did you not hear from? This is no different than social media, but this is starting at this age already.
Yeah.
That I'm like, people are only telling you things that they want you to think and believe and see, look at us, I'm doing so great. Or look, I'm having a good time. And some of it is very genuine. Like, look at my beautiful family. We had a great time on this vacation. But it causes you to look within. Why can't I have that? And then it causes you to go out, spend on something, make yourself feel a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's go out to this nice fancy dinner that we can't afford, but we're not going on vacation, so we should at least do this, right? You start justifying these behaviors in your head. And yeah.
And I still fall victim to a lot of this stuff,
man. Dude, yeah, me
I
too.
see people like out there doing some trip. My brother just went on a crazy trip to Greece, and I was like, damn, that looked beautiful. Look like a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, you poor, right?
I saw the photos. I was like, God damn, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I'm like, it looks beautiful.
Yeah. I
mean-
justified it in my head. I was just like, I can't get on the boat. I get seasick.
I'm like, you look like you gained weight,
Man,
though. That's fine.
I wouldn't be able to do it anyways. I would get seasick.
I'm out here closet hating,
Yeah.
but not in the closet. We went to Hawaii, though.
Yeah.
Didn't feel the same.
I got seasick though.
Yeah, he didn't get seasick. He vomited on everything. And he vomits loud, just for the record.
Oh, he's not subtle about it? Everybody knows. Chest
Super
out.
Saiyan.
Yeah. He's like that black belt in the gym that everybody wants to. He wants everybody to hear him.
Planet Fitness bell going off. Ding,
Yeah,
ding,
ding ding, grunk alert, grunk alert. All right, so assets make you free. You guys know that.
Mhm.
And look, I'll be the first to admit that I'm able to jokingly say that I'm unemployed on the show because I have assets that help enable me to be free.
Mhm.
Liabilities dress up freedom, yet rob you blind. It gives you the feeling of freedom, like I can do this, but in reality, they're keeping you there.
Mhm.
And anytime you ever want to guess what assets are doing this to you, just think if you were to lose your job tomorrow, what you'd have to cut back on,
Yeah, man.
right? Think about the things you felt like you had to pay versus the things you would like to pay.
There you go.
And you'll know really quickly what's making you poor. So wealth is not about income. It's about what you own. Yet society teaches you to collect liabilities, cars, clothes, gadgets, and they all call this success. Nobody walks around with their credit card statement above their head.
Mhm.
Okay? Nobody's that player character where you're walking around going like, I owe this much money.
Yeah.
Not a single person you know other than me has generally been very open about, hey, this is my credit card bill this month.
Right.
Right? Think about how many conversations you have with somebody about the assets they own. You see their car, you go like, oh wow. Or
Mhm.
how many people are walking around going like, damn, bro, I got a $40,000 Amex bill this month. Damn,
Damn.
that hurts.
Damn, Gina.
Speaking of which, I got to pay mine.
Yeah.
But it's very, very rare. And you see people take all these trips. Like, look what we just talked about. We just talked about my brother going on a trip, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if my brother paid cash for that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has the cash for that. I don't know if it's on a credit card or not. He's never going to tell me that. I'm never going to ask it. That's invasive. That's rude.
Mhm.
But that's the fallacy. Your
Yeah.
friend's parents going on a trip. For all you know, they pulled out a home equity line of credit to go on that trip to Paris.
Could have.
You don't know. Yet all we do is envy the result.
Mm-hmm.
We don't see any of the backstory. And just because people can do things doesn't mean they're part of it. Look at how many people know somebody famous or in crazy ass circles. It's not because they're famous or because they're just rolling around because they're attached to somebody.
Right.
It's no different.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't too long ago. I remember that some of the people that I knew were actually wealthy, they weren't flashy about it. And maybe that played a huge part into why they were so successful and well off, right? It's the ones that are ultra flashy that always have me questioning, like, I feel like you're peacocking a little bit. Like, why? Why are you doing all that?
Yeah, but unfortunately, extremism and social media have made the peacock normal. And now, if you don't peacock, people don't believe you have it.
Right.
I love.
But it's the ones that are selling, the ones that are peacocking and are using it to try to get you to be like them. Those are the ones I'm always skeptical about. Like, why?
usually
Why?
selling you something.
Yeah,
of course.
usually selling you some, right?
Yeah.
And that should be red flag number one.
So post 2008, the rise of institutional landlords also enabled this problem. We heard a lot about it. If you were in the last, I think, 3 or 4 years, it became a really big conversation. You had Blackstone, Invitation Homes. They all made real estate harder to access for first-time home buyers. And there's a lot of real estate pundits who disagree with this. But one thing I can tell you for sure, Blackstone, chiefly among them, I know for sure, they bought up a ton of real estate. Because for them, it was a great investment opportunity to buy single-family homes, small apartment buildings, and now you have not only the debt that you hold in the notes, but you also own the properties. It's just another way that they can make money. They're deploying capital into assets that can make money for them. And you can go into the stock market, but a lot of people believe that's overvalued.
Mm-hmm.
You can go into gold or Bitcoin, and I'm sure they have asset holdings in those, but real estate's one of those things that's always going to be there.
Right.
And a lot of these people are going, okay, how do I get better returns? Well, I
But-
get equity upside over time.
As far as institutional investors go, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but I remember not too long ago that they really only made up of like less than 5% of the single family homes, right? But at the rate that we're going, you look at it, you're like, who's going to be able to afford these homes other than institutional investors one day, right? I mean,
Well, not only that, but I would say that 5% of homes is still a meaningful change.
yeah, but
right.
that might be over. I mean, it was probably
It was 3 to
less.
5% depending on the markets.
Yeah, right,
But again,
exactly.
in some markets, that's meaningful. And in a market where you can't find a single home to buy,
Yeah,
a great example is Orange County for a long period of time. You would have an open house on what would otherwise be a starter home.
Mhm.
and you could not get a fucking viewing appointment.
Yeah, 17
it was
days.
insane.
17 days, average day of listing in Orange County.
Listing to close.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
wild
times. I mean, how do you even get an appraisal in that timeline? It was just nuts.
Yeah, buying sight unseen. Yep.
And then people were showing up, and there was like people coming in, and they were checking out the person coming in. They were writing these sympathy letters, like, you gotta lend it to me, because if you don't sell it to me, I can't raise my kids. I'm gonna be poor forever. I mean, it was crazy sympathy letters. My mom and dad are helping me out, and like, please sell me the house. Why do you gotta? If you're willing to pay somebody for a house, like, why do you gotta write the sympathy letter?
Yeah, because you never know. It might work.
But it's fat. It's sad.
It shouldn't be.
That's
yeah.
where we're at.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
You gotta rely on emotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course, this is only compounded over time. There are other problems that make this terribly, terribly, real.
Mm.
Home ownership is only one. Social media is another one. Credit card spending is another one. But you can't escape the game if you don't know the rules. And you sure as hell can't win by playing safe. But yet, you don't feel like you can take the risk because of all the things you've been taught.
But
You've been taught to be conservative.
What does it mean to win the game?
Well,
to you, what does it mean to win the game?
It comes down to freedom for me and rebuilding the path to freedom for all of us. I think in a lot of ways, the ecosystem that we're put in takes freedom away from the day we go to school. From the day you go to school, unless you have a parent or you listen to the Higher Standard podcast, you are bred to believe that you should be afraid of being poor. You are bred to believe that unless you're an altruistic person, you need to find a job that makes you really good money and is stable so that you can pay your bills and not be poor.
Mm-hmm.
Fear of poverty is not the reason to work. And if you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, they've been willing to risk everything to make everything they have today.
Yeah.
Because they've gone against the system, which is why so many type A alpha people are out there as successful entrepreneurs. There's a fundamental disconnect in the things you're taught to fear, yet the risks you have to take. And that is not by accident. The whole point of all of this is how do you get people back to freedom? How do you get and this is the sad part, is I'm not trying to get people back to you're a rich person. I'm trying to get you back to neutral.
Yeah.
You're not afraid.
Don't be afraid. Right, exactly. Yeah. We were talking about it before the show. That guy, I don't know his name in real life, but Dwight from The Office. He was doing an interview on somebody's podcast, and he was talking about how
surprisingly sharp guy, right?
Yeah, really, really insightful, and he was talking about some really thought provoking stuff. And I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole interview, but he was just talking about this concept that we've been talking about over the last couple episodes, where people in their 20s are more afraid now than ever to make mistakes because they feel like
You're under a microscope.
Not only under a microscope, exactly. There's that too, right? Yeah, it's this one. You got the sound quality up. Maybe we could actually play it. I don't know if we're gonna get flagged.
How you gonna let him challenge your job like that, Rajeil?
Yeah,
better talk to your boy.
This is
Here
great.
we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Like, don't even worry about it. Don't try and get it figured out. Like, the point of your 20s is to try 12 different things and fail at 9 of them so that you can come out. But there's all this societal pressure. But truthfully, in society right now, you talk to so many college kids and they're so depressed at 2021 because they haven't gotten the perfect internship over the summer and they're not pre-enrolled in the perfect grad program and they don't have their job aligned. Now, I know it's hard to make a living out there. It's hard to have a career and make a living. It's much harder than in the 80s and 90s when we were, getting our educations. But nonetheless, if you view the 20s as a workshop stage, then it gives you so you can relax a little bit.
Yeah, that's Rainn Wilson, by the way.
Rainn Wilson,
and he's sensational, and I don't disagree with that. The problem with that statement, I would like to say the same thing to a lot of people too, but that avoids the reality that the pressure they feel is still pressure they feel.
It doesn't take it away.
You can't make a 20-year-old feel like it's the workshop phase when a 20-year-old just wants to have the economic freedom. Now they do it, and they want it in the image of success, in a Ferrari and a Lamborghini, a big house. But what they're really craving deep down inside is they want the ability to be free.
It's a hard concept to sell to someone where, listen, I need you to go through this workshop phase and I need you to fail. And the failure will help you down the road.
More importantly, I need you to work so that you can be free and not have to work.
Yeah. There you go. Right. I'm actually battling something similar with this with my son. Right. So there's this like club basketball team that he's trying to get on. Okay. Yeah. And he's been working really, really hard and practicing really hard, but In the meantime, I've had to put him on some of these other teams, and the other teams unfortunately aren't as skilled, and there's not as much structure because the kids aren't devoting as much time, but they're still enjoying and having a good time. And I'm having to sell to him when he's playing on these teams that aren't as good with players that aren't as developed, that you still have to make the right play, even though that kid's not going to catch the ball, right?
Yeah.
Like, and accept the fact that, hey, I don't care if you don't win this game that you're playing. You're doing this to develop. And at times he goes, okay. But at other times he's trying to take over and forcing bad shots because he wants to, naturally he's competitive. I want to win the game. I'm like, no. That's not the right play. You got to always still make the right play and commit to losing as long as you're doing your part. And I mean, this is how I'm trying to use basketball with him, because he's asking me like, Dad, do you think I'll make the NBA? I'm be like, listen, we're not doing this for you to make the NBA.
God, that's a tough question to ask.
I know, man. You're 9. Like, let's not. What are we working on? I was like,
how many peptides you want, son?
Yeah, you want to go to Germany?
How does that make you feel?
Yeah, right. But I'm like, I don't care about whether you make it or not. What I care about is, are you learning from this? I'm gonna try to take this and apply this to other things down the road, right? So, similar concepts, but
no, I get it, and I think that's probably part of the biggest challenge culturally with kids is that they see so much more, and then they also want these things, but. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income, and I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think that
really
I'll use myself as a proxy.
Give me what are 7 different streams of income that a millionaire could have?
Well, I think it's misleading a little bit because you think of I read a book by Robert G. Allen. It was my first book about finance, and it was called Multiple Streams of Income. Mm-hmm. And Robert G. Allen was a multimillionaire. He was an author. He sold Mary Kay products, which I thought was like strange at the time, but had a business, and then he had multiple businesses. I don't think that's the way that this is meant. You generally have something that makes you money, whether that's a W-2 job or you work for yourself, right? But then you take that money and then you do something like buy a home with it, right? Mm-hmm. That's a stream of income over time. It's going to build wealth for you. It's passive. Mm-hmm. Then you say, okay, well, I'm going to put my money in a 401k. Well, that's a stream of income, or IRA if you're self-employed. That's a stream of income. It's retirement money. It's going to build something for you later on. And a lot of people are like, well, Chris, I want money now. That doesn't work for me. Okay, well, those aren't your streams of income. You don't want to wait for later and let compound interest do its thing. Fine. What do? You start a side hustle. Mm-hmm. It's another stream of income.
There you go.
You can build another business, if you don't like the one that you're in every single day and possibly run 2 businesses. Or you could buy real estate.
There you go.
Right? Which in and of itself, people write this off all the time and go, okay, well, it's passive. Yeah, I will say that my setup is largely passive, but it is a business.
Right.
That is a business that I run. Mm-hmm. And then your personal brand is also a business, right? How you enrich yourself is also a business. It's a stream of income, right? Mm-hmm. The better and more talented you get, the more money you can make. So there's all sorts of different ways to look at stream of income per se. I don't think it's that way clearly.
I mean, I've been personally lucky enough to work with some people that I know that have shared, some of the investments that they've made and have owned plenty of real estate to where they didn't have to work, but they continued working, right? It's just because you have that doesn't mean you stop doing what got you there.
Yeah.
Right. And I think continuing to work on yourself, if a listener were to ask me today, like, okay, I have like $10,000 in my savings account, what can I do with it? Right. I'd be like, try to work on building yourself first before going out there and making investments on anything else. What can you do currently to get yourself, smarter, better, more talented? What certifications could you get? I mean, could you study on your own to make yourself better, right? I mean, that's what I think people should be working on before going out and looking at what can I be investing in to grow this 10,000.
I'm going to say something that's slightly controversial to kind of cap the show on some level.
Damn, 58 minutes already?
No, I still want to talk about other stuff. I'm just this part of the show.
I didn't realize 58 minutes.
Yeah, well, I mean, talking to me with a C4 in my hand goes fast,
We're having a good time. Time flies.
There you go.
Look at you.
Yeah.
There you go, my guy.
I see you over there twisting and bobbing in the chair.
Speaking of flying.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi? What does it say?
Men who catch fly with chopsticks accomplish anything.
Yeah.
Men who catch fly with hands accomplish everything.
I tried to play this movie for my kids the other day, and it started off so slow that they were like, next.
Yeah, the problem is there's too many remakes now, too.
Yeah.
You can't. I watched Hudson Hawk last night with Joanna.
I don't know that. Sorry. What is it? You know what it is, Rajeil?
Early 1990s movie. I want to say 91, 92. Bruce Willis.
I got somebody behind the desk now that co-signs with me more. Odun back in the day would be like, bro, you don't know that? Now he's on my side.
Yeah, I tried to get Arun to come back the other day just to sit down and talk to us. Nope.
You want to bring him back for an interview?
I'm afraid of some of the stuff he might say, to be honest with you. Hudson Hawk, there he is. Bruce Willis, early 90s, 91, 92. He's a cat burglar, right? And he is forced into robbing some Leonardo da Vinci artifacts, the last of which from the Vatican. And it's got some really interesting like subplot lines. He breaks the fourth wall. Andy McDowell is in it, and that's his romantic interest. She's a nun. It's fascinating. Fascinating movie. My wife could not have been more disinterested. She was just like, what the hell?
Well, that's the problem with some of this stuff. If you're not watching it like in real time, or at least with somewhat like it being relevant, then it doesn't really hit the same. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hit the same.
No, it don't slap.
Every time.
It don't slap.
Yeah, it doesn't. The problem is a lot of these movies have been remade so many times, and the concepts are just
Yeah, I mean, this is essentially Ocean's 12.
Oh no, this is much more comedic.
Much more comedic?
Yeah.
Ocean's 12 is pretty comedic.
No, Ocean's 12 was a serious story written with comedy in it.
Yeah.
This is a not so serious story written with anecdotal, like fourth wall comedy. Like he's talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
So not quite the same thing.
Got it.
More like stand-up-ish. But I mean, he came off of Moonlighting. He still had his hair back then.
Yeah.
I watched it and wanted to show it to Joanna because he's got dementia now, and I feel like terrible.
Yeah, it's really bad too, right?
Yeah, he had like a different disease which segued into dementia, or at least a sub portion of dementia. I have to read into it. I wanted to, but those brain diseases really scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Like to be alive but be partially not the same person, and I don't want to say dead, but certainly not as human as you were at once upon a time. That's incredibly scary to me. That and paralysis, like those things scare me. Blind people, like I understand the other.
But science is getting with AI
Neuralink.
and Neuralink, and quantum computing. They're saying that they'll be able to solve and cure all cancers by 2030.
There's actually a really interesting genome project that just came out of Japan. Rajeil, you might want to look this up, where they've been able to delete the gene for, I want to say autism.
No, Down syndrome.
Down syndrome.
Or Down syndrome.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah.
Both of you just fucking superior knowledge me right there?
No, we shared it in our group chat. You just don't like to read our group chat.
I don't really read your group chats. Yeah.
You didn't give him credit, bro. He's the one that posted it.
See, this is a problem with Instagram too, is it knows when your friends share stuff to you and then shows you the stuff that you didn't click on. So it's like, I didn't know.
Wow.
Look at you. But this is sensational stuff, though.
This is sensational.
Yeah, are they using the CRISPR, or what are they using? So CRISPR is what?
Okay,
they're using CRISPR technology. So CRISPR basically is a gene editing tool. You can splice and cut genes, right?
That's so wild.
And now,
at what stage are you splicing these genes?
Pre-birth is my guess.
Pre-birth.
Yeah.
How it works. Design guide molecules, targets, and removes the extra chromosome 21.
For the record, we're doing a podcast. You have to actually read to people for them to understand what the hell it is you're reading.
I thought you were still talking.
You sound like one of those mumble rap guys.
Yeah, that's sensational stuff, man.
But we're getting to that point now where, to your point, we're getting to that inflection point where technology is going to start increasing at such a cadence that it's going to make things really strange. But then I also think about this in the financial perspective, and I think to myself, like all these kids who want jobs, there are things that make money today that people ignore because they seem so crazy, but when you consider technology, they're not so crazy.
Like?
A great example of this is using AI to build a completely faceless YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
But then YouTube said they're going to stop paying for channels like that.
Because it became such a problem for them.
Right.
Right? And that was, kids would go on to 11 Labs, an AI platform, pick a voice. The popular one was Adam, was the name of the voice, right? It is that deep, dark voice that you hear all the time.
Right.
And they would have a script run through. Then they would go to another AI platform, usually Veo these days, because Veo has better, superior video technology. And they'd run the script through there to create an image that goes with it. They'd combine the two and put them onto YouTube. Mm-hmm. And then if you want content, well, you'd go to Wikipedia and you just pull historical events, and you'd have visual representation where you're just dictating to somebody interesting facts about these historical events. And there would be YouTube videos, and they would make a lot of money. The other part of the interesting thing now is that we talked about this a little bit at lunch, where we've moved from what was a follower economy to this data economy. So the way people interact with social media is changing, and a lot of these kids are really sharp, and they're putting out content which caters to the algorithm, knowing that it doesn't matter how many followers they have, they can just push the content. So you go to their pages, you're like, oh, this guy's got like 1,000 followers. They're not really, but they got millions of views on certain posts. Well, depending on the platform you're at strategically, they're making money on that. And then what do they do? They take that same viral reel, they clip it 3 or 4 different ways, and then repost it on several different platforms, including that same platform, just trying to get more and more views every single time.
Yeah.
There's also an entire Clipper sub base. Have you heard about this?
No.
So there are websites now where if you want to make money as somebody who knows video editing, or even if you don't, you're just using some of the mobile apps,
Okay.
there are people who will pay you to have a video of them go viral. So what you do is you post a project, and then what they do is they make a video. If their video goes viral, you're paying them per 1,000 views.
Wow.
And in some cases, they can make hundreds, if not thousands of dollars if the video gets liftoff. So what you're doing is you're incenting these kids on a commission basis to push out a video that goes viral, and then you're going to pay them for the virality of that video.
Yeah.
So there's all these sub-cottage industries that are popping up under technology, but you would never believe in a million years that somebody can make a living off of making 30-second video clips.
Oh yeah. I mean, I remember this from when when I was helping out more with editing the show. There was entire channels devoted to, hey, you could edit this, use this transition, use this sound effect, and they'll teach you how to make plugins. I'm like, you made an entire, channel based on this. I mean, you could do that same thing with how to use AI models. Yeah. Right. Yeah, use this AI model for this, and this is how you prompt it. And
it's evolving so fast, man.
Yeah,
there are so many different AI models that are so crazy evolving that it makes it almost like head spinning how fast things are changing now.
Yeah,
and that's where I look at a lot of the things we talk about on the show, and I say to myself, like, okay, you're trying to break conventional norms, yet all this unconventional technology is out there giving you opportunities. If you just wanted to learn about something, you could literally have a conversation with AI and say, I don't understand this. Imagine that you go into you remember back in the day when your teacher was teaching you something and you go, hey, I don't understand why this guy did this.
Yeah.
Can you answer it? And they go, well, Billy, probably because he had an insatiable appetite for lust and greed. Right? Yeah. And then you could go back to AI and ask the question, and it might be like, well, Genghis Khan felt that this was part of him. And you get a much more, I guess, factually relevant, in some cases, answer than you would probably from a teacher. Not to besmirch a teacher's name, but, I mean, you have somebody who's got an unlimited amount of data to go back to and query.
Right.
Right? Versus somebody who's in a classroom teaching. I think the way we learn in school is going to change. I think what we think of as parents, like right now, if a kid were to come up to me and say, let me ask you a question, and Rajeil, this is for both of you. You both have sons, okay? Your son comes to you both and says, Daddy, I want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Are you as enthusiastic about that as you would have been maybe 20 years ago?
Well, I'll let Rajeil go first. I got a response.
I think that's cool. He wants to become a doctor, but then you gotta look at how many years of school he has to go through.
Right. I mean, down the road, I'd want to make sure that he understands what that means as far as the level of commitment it's going to take. I still think with all this, look, I think there's a.
But just to be clear, you guys do realize that's a very different answer than what someone would have answered.
Oh, like if I would have came to my parents, I want to become a doctor, they'd be like, yeah, no.
Do it. It's amazing. You're the best.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. What do you mean? Like, I'm going to force you to try to do that, right? That's what they would have said. But I still think that if my kid would come to me and say that he's passionate about doing something, why do you want to become a doctor? I want to help people, or I'm really interested in the eyes. I want to become an optometrist, right? Like, okay, like I don't know how much you can make off that, and I don't want all the decisions we make be about, how much freedom you have. Because look, if you can have a life where you feel like you're serving a purpose and you found your purpose, you found your why, you enjoy doing this thing, cool. Like, then that there's still some element of waking up every day and going to work and enjoying what you're doing, right? But as they got older, I'd want to make sure that he understands, all right, how much debt you're going to be walking out of this, and understand that the level of payments you're going to be dealing with, and do you really enjoy that this much?
But do you see how the paradigm has shifted into there's a risk, there's a reward, and we now recognize the risk may outweigh the reward?
Oh, yeah. We got to make sure that we understand it from all angles. Exactly.
And that's a big paradigm shift where you understand that. Now, I would say, what is a job you think is going to be eliminated by AI?
Administrative work, probably.
Administrative work. Okay. What if...
Or accounting. I could see some accounting jobs.
Accounting is a great example, right?
Yeah.
Like, why do you really need it? I mean, if it's just to knowing the rules and how to apply them, I mean, I'm pretty sure AI is suited for that.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But
we spend this much money on this and this and this, and now put it into our, P&L.
Now, a company accounting for work in like business is fantastic, right? But it's only fantastic right now because we don't all have an accountant sitting in our office in the form of AI. But if you could query AI about, hey, does this work from an accounting perspective? Anytime you had a question, or hey, we're going to move this money to here, we're going to do this, this, and this. Is there a better way from an accounting perspective to make the sense of this and get multiple answers right then and there without having to worry about calling somebody?
Right, or paying a professional service fee.
Exactly.
Hourly.
Right? Like everybody has that in their pocket. It changes the game. So then let's say your child comes in and says, Dad, I want to be an accountant.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
You know, my response to my son with that set of facts would probably be, okay, cool, but understand you have to be a really phenomenally unique one who uses AI because this job is likely not to be the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I've learned anything over the course of like my career, it's let's not just focus on one thing, right? Don't just become an accountant. Become an accountant that also knows how to do X, Y, and Z or other things too, right? So that's probably what I'm going to push him towards. Like, don't label yourself just one thing. Try to become more. What else are you interested in? Also continue to do that, right? Because you never know what could come of all these things.
Well, more than anything else, I got a really important question to ask you that I think is probably indicative of the future.
Of the future?
Yeah. Rajeil, I don't know if you did see the group thread messages, but we were sent a lovely package by Pleasures from Jason that I have yet to see. Saeed, where is that package currently?
In the back of my car. Chief, thank you for reminding me. I did forget to bring it up. It is in the back of my car.
Dirty pool, man. Hey, you see that, Rajeil? If I didn't say something,
I would have forgotten.
There was going to be no package.
It was actually in the front seat. And then Adam was like, "Can I sit in the front seat today?" I was like, "All right, I'll put it." So
you put your homies in the back seat.
Yeah, y'all. No, not in the back seat. I put you in the trunk.
Yeah, I don't
pop the trunk on you.
Anything from the package.
Yeah. You
All
do.
I want is you.
Yeah, you want some Daft Punk.
The bookends, those are pretty dope. But I don't have any books to end.
We're gonna make sure we get some though.
I don't know where I'd put those.
Before we sign off though, we got another honest 5-star review.
We were gonna sign off. We were gonna go in double digits tonight. Look at that. There you go. Cream.
Ooh, it's so
3.
sexy. So sexy.
Those are pretty dope.
Yeah.
Did he really send those to you?
Yeah, they're here.
Oh.
Yeah, and some like shirts and stuff for you guys.
Those are expensive.
Yeah, he hooked it up. He said he'll hook up more too if we want more. All right, so we got an honest 5-star review. This from Action Jackson 89.
I mean, that's Action Jackson, everybody.
Let's go. And that's actually the caption title. Let's go.
Is it really?
5 stars.
Oh, so you know it's honest.
You know it's honest. You have leveled up these past few weeks. Loved episodes 291 and 293.
Hold on.
Oh,
it's not a room. You can read from the screen.
Oh my god.
Okay, Rajeil's got you. Okay,
I got you, bro.
Rajeil's ready.
Yeah, look at you.
What are you doing?
You've leveled up these past few weeks. Loved episode 291 and 293. Really like where you are going with this. Seems like you found your groove. Thank you, Action Jackson.
Wow, pointing right to the camera.
I'm looking right at you.
So yeah, we felt pretty good about 291, 293. I think this one probably.
Oh, I like this one.
I think it's good.
No, there's gems.
There are gems. I want to be a little bit less esoteric and a little bit more data driven with some of these going forward. But I do feel like having a little bit more freedom and flexibility to kind of play with makes the show more interesting too. Mm-hmm. So feel free to comment if anybody's listening to the show at this point and they have any thoughts on what they like better. But
yeah,
I also think shows with you and me are better than the shows with the guests. You know, it's just, you know what I mean?
We need to
just get Rajeil out of here. I'm playing, dog. I'm playing.
Hey, what kind of jerk, bro?
Come on, man. Hey, I co-signed him. You didn't even know you put something on the screen.
Rajeil, I've asked for him to sit behind the desk and bring you up here, but yeah, this guy's so.
You want me to do a show where you two talk to each other for now?
So arrogant, bro. You just got to be on camera all the time.
Actually, I don't feel like I look good on camera. I got to be honest with you. Like when you edit yourself as much as I do,
stop.
You see all the flaws.
Stop.
You're like, damn it, why is my nose pink again? That Colombian Bam Bam.
And no, I know. With
that presidential powder.
And with the 4K, when I have a little scruff up here, I'm like, God damn, why didn't I clean up before coming in?
Yeah, 4K hides nothing.
Exposes a lot.
Yeah.
Even my little friend right here.
It all comes
My little friend right here. Yeah,
what is that right there?
I got a little friend.
A little pimple?
Yeah.
That's nothing, bro.
Yeah.
You don't ever have like big ones like I do.
What?
Like when I get one, they're like on my nose and they're massive.
I haven't seen you have one in like 3 years.
It's been a while because my hormones have been stable. I ain't playing with the hormones, boy.
Oh, that's right. Now you can't fall off.
I got my blood drawn today actually to make sure I've been lowering my testosterone levels.
Why?
Just because I want to get. When I started off, I was at 150 milligrams. I want to say.
I was under the assumption that once you start taking testosterone, you can't get off. But I mean, you can get off, but it'll significantly decrease your natural levels. Like you're not going to develop them the same. Did I misunderstand that, or?
Yeah, my testicles are smaller. If that's what you're asking.
No, not that. That I know.
Because they're producing less. No, sarcasm. aside, that is the traditional path. I think most people don't try to develop. So I went for years, 6 years, just trying to increase my testosterone naturally. And there was a lot of things that I could not do. I couldn't change the stress level in my life, right? I couldn't get to the gym consistently at the time. I was trying to go as much as I could. And even when I thought, looking back on it, that I was in good shape, I wasn't. Like Mind Pump, when we went there, I thought I was in great shape. I looked like a fat cow. Terrible friend for letting me wear that outfit, much less look like that on the show. I looked bloated.
Well, you're wearing a black t-shirt. You want me to tell you to wear a white t-shirt?
Like this, like the one I'm wearing now.
That would have been devastating for you. Diabolical.
Chris, I can see your fat nibbles. Nobody likes a nibble that looks down, Chris.
Dang.
And I feel like I'm getting in better shape over time, but I've learned some things about how to manage stress, and I try to do all the things I can. So I started lifting heavy. I started intermittent fasting more. I started, I take creatine every single day. I take a lot of peptides that I've come to terms with that are not bad things, that are very good things. Currently, for example, I'm on IGF-1. I'm on microdosing tirzepatide. I'm on TB500. I'm on BPC 157. I'm on N80+. I'm basically an android. But I've done all the things I can, including better sleep, including red light therapy, including cold plunging. I mean, I do all these things consistently to try to increase testosterone. And then I look at my lab results every 3 months, and generally speaking, they've gone up.
Okay.
And as my testosterone levels go up, I try to bring them back down to like what I would call a more normalized level. So I get my blood drawn today, which is the longest day I go away from an injection. So I inject on Mondays and Friday nights. Mondays and Thursday nights. So
okay.
The injection on Thursday night has a 4-day gap till Monday. So Monday morning is the longest I'll ever go without taking an injection of testosterone. That's in theory the lowest my testosterone will be.
Okay, so the best depiction of what's going on.
Of my low. And typically speaking, that's around 1,000 to 1,200.
Jeez,
which is still elevated, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I've gone as high as...
But you feel great, though.
I feel sensational, but...
So why would you want to stop feeling sensational?
Because I don't want to... So if it comes back and it's like 1,500... Like the last time I got it done, it was like over 1,500.
Oh, jeez.
Right, and
that's
it was...
a lot, yeah.
And so what I do is I'll scale back 10 milligrams. So I went from... My last one was 100, and I think it's 130 milligrams down to 110.
So what's the fear of it being too high? You're like I don't want to... If it drops too far below this, then I might start feeling crappy. Does your body become like acclimated and adjusted to those levels? And
when you go down a little bit, you get a little more fatigued, a little bit less sleep. Your sleep changes a little bit. It takes about a month or so for me personally to adjust. But what I found is the idea is ultimately get off testosterone if I can get my levels high enough, right? But if I'm on it in perpetuity, then great. But the way I look at it is if I can get to a point where less and less testosterone is necessary to keep me above average, then that's great, right?
Yeah,
it gives me more flexibility.
And you know what your average was pre-testosterone.
Yeah, I was at 369 before testosterone.
Yeah.
And now with 110 milligrams, I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of, call it 1,000. So
if you can hover around like above that, 500-600, I mean, you're Gucci.
Yeah, I mean, it's an exercise. Number one, consistency of doing the right thing. So I take zinc every single night, which is an estrogen blocker naturally. I take an estrogen blocker, an Astrodol. I take HCG still, which keeps your fertility up, but it's also like testosterone light in some ways. Mm-hmm. So I still do all the things that I think are practical and reasonable. But
keeping your fertility up because of...
Rajeil, do you want another child?
Yes.
I can give him a child. If he wanted one, I could give him one.
You heard LeBron?
What
after all those AI pages that were basically showing him as pregnant, and he sent them all a cease and desist?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Rightfully so, bro. I mean, come on, I would too.
You can't stop this train, bro. AI has left the station, dog.
It's over, bro.
If LeBron sent me a cease and desist for something I did in the show, I would love it.
Bro, can you imagine the people out there that hate on him for that? It's like, oh, you mean this bothers you? Bet. Yeah. Now you gotta lean into it.
Now I'm gonna sign up to an anonymous account and do more of it.
There you go.
You know?
Yeah, you gotta lean in. Don't ever show that.
Yeah, don't let him see the blood, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's the hardest thing.
You know about him and
that's the hardest thing to teach my kids. I had to teach it to my daughter actually the other night.
What?
Literally, because she was feeling insecure about something, and I was telling her, I'm like, you can't show people that you're insecure about this. Because you can always talk to mom and dad about it. But if you show people, you got to understand these kids are nasty. They're going to now attack you even more because now they feel like they got you. Right? And dude, that's such a hard lesson to learn for a kid early.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like don't show it. Ugh.
Dude, because it's a natural human instinct to show like your emotion.
Yeah.
And then as you get older, you learn like the defense mechanisms that aren't even cognitively aware of anymore, right? Like we all have our defense mechanism for conversations and whether that's challenge or adversity, and we like lean into them. But not all humans have the same defense mechanisms. We all kind of manifest that differently.
Yeah.
And understanding how that works is.
I honestly didn't learn that till I was like much later in life. As an adult, okay, make fun of me about something I'm insecure about. I'm gonna lean into it. I'm gonna tag the line too. I'm gonna make fun of myself for it. And now next time you're not coming back unless it's Christopher.
Let's have a little exercise in self-understanding, self-realization.
Let's do it.
Rajeil, you ready? All right. I'm going to start first because I realize asking you guys to do this is probably setting you up for bait, right? I would like you each to name one big insecurity for you. And I'll name a couple just to kick this off so you guys
just big
one. And I'll give you examples.
Insecurity.
I have never felt attractive. I joke a lot about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I try to be as in the best shape I can, but I've never once looked in the mirror and said, I'm an attractive person.
Mm.
And I don't know what it is. Maybe I grew up.
You've never put on an outfit like, damn, I'm a rock star tonight.
No, the closest I've gotten to that is this outfit looks really well put together.
Like for yourself. I mean, we're not talking about what other people have said to you, how you feel.
I've never looked in the mirror and I've never felt like an attractive person. Like I joke a lot about it.
Yeah.
I'll look in mirrors, but my wife sees me like looking in the mirrors. Like I just see all the flaws and I'm looking in the mirror going like, ugh.
Oh man.
Even photos of myself. Like, I've
why.
never seen a photo.
Body dysmorphia or what?
It predates. Oh Jesus. That's why.
See, this guy is.
You don't look bad, dude.
Wow, bro. I didn't know you were a villain. This guy,
that's
bro. He's being vulnerable, and you pulled up that.
So
look at my eyebrows. I mean, it was ridiculous.
So I see this right,
So serious.
And I think about like, man, is this guy a celebrity? I swear I've seen him before.
Oh,
you got a doppelganger, man.
Okay.
First of all, Jason Momoa is a lot better looking than me. Number one.
No, honestly, I think your doppelganger is
It's gonna be insulting.
No. It's the guy you like, Joe. What's his name?
Joe Magninello.
Yeah, that was your doppelganger.
Way better looking than me.
Yeah, okay.
Not even close,
bro. Yeah,
because I'm a big person. You guys see big people and you go, "Oh, he looks like that big person." Not because like I'm good. If I look like them,
but damn, that's crazy. I wonder where that stems from for you. That's crazy.
Oh, I've got a couple ideas. I've never. Oh, you want the ideas here? When I was young, I liked a girl who I actually saw at the gym years and years and years ago. Who was interested in me at the time. Her name was Karen Tucker. Fuck you, Karen. Right? I'll never forget.
Karen out here catching strays 30 years later.
It's true. We were in sixth grade. All
right.
I asked her like, to go on a date with me.
And who gave you this idea? You just with one of your friends like, bro, you should just ask her. And you're like, all right, yeah, I might ask her.
Yeah, scratch that. 7th grade. She said I look like a dog. That was her response.
Like, can I go on a date with you? You look like a dog?
Yeah,
that's wild, bro.
That's where I grew up.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. Meanwhile, ironically, years later, I saw her working out at the gym that I was at, and I remember, I'm like, who's this googly looking bitch? She's looking at me all weird, right?
Yeah.
And it was her, and you could tell she was clearly interested at that point in time.
Yeah,
we all grew. I mean, I figured, I'm not fat and bald, I guess.
Okay.
Or
Dang.
I was bald back then. You know what I mean? It's pre-hair transplant.
Yeah, my biggest insecurity that I battled with was my height for a long time.
Oh.
Long time. To the point where I remember when that surgery first came out where it was exposed, like you could go overseas.
That looks torturous, dude. The height increasing surgery.
Can I tell you? And it was at the time, it was always talked about like you can get 2 inches out of it, right? And I was like, and not walk for 6 months? All right, I'll consider it. Like literally.
Wow.
Me and I'll say his name Weiss. Weiss and I both were.
Weiss isn't short, is he?
I mean, he's like he'll say he's half an inch taller than me.
I gotta be honest. I've never looked at him and thought short dude.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's the same height as me, right? A little bit taller. But
I never look at you and think short dude.
But it was like, and then for a long time, I'll give you 2.
Huh.
Was I had gaps in between my teeth.
Oh yeah, you got great teeth.
Oh, these are veneers, right?
Oh.
Because the gaps were so big that they said braces wouldn't even help. They're like, braces won't close these gaps.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, because I got them when I was 21. I got the veneers when I was 21. Yeah. So it was so bad that when I would speak to people, I would cover and I still occasionally will do this just as a natural reflex.
My teeth aren't perfect, dude.
Yeah.
I don't like my teeth that are yellow. Like they're not like bright white. I've never been able to get them bright
white.
I
I think the whole bright white look is like, it's so fake.
I love it. I want to do that. That's my silicone titties.
Rajeil, what you got?
I would say my weight. Yeah, I was a pretty big kid throughout. Like,
No,
yeah.
dude. I've seen a photo of you when you and your wife started dating, and you look fucking good, dude.
So I was pretty big, right? And then in high school, my uncle would pick me up at 3 a.m. in the morning. We'd go to 24-hour fitness, work out for 2 hours.
What a good uncle, dude.
Get closer to that mic, dude. Why you dry humping it? Get over there.
Yeah. What a good uncle, dude.
Yeah. Dude was like ripped. He looked like Dave Bautista.
So he was about that life.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, big influence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I lost all the weight. It went down to like 135.
135 in high school?
You should have seen the photo of him and his wife, like when they met. Like, he's a good looking motherfucker. This guy. Number one. Number two, when he was like skinnier, I was like, goddamn, who's this model looking motherfucker?
135 is wild, bro.
Yeah, 135 is tiny. I mean,
you don't want to be 135. Yeah. What's the
fun fact, Rajeil? I have always been overweight my entire life, and even when I was like skinny, I was skinny fat.
Mm-hmm.
So like I still have like the same. People think body dysmorphia comes from like the bodybuilding days. No, it predated that a long time. I got up to like 275 at one point, which for me was, I mean, it was not attractive.
Yeah, that what's his name? That guy that has that page, Starting Strength. Mark, what's his name?
Mark Bell.
I think Mark Bell, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he say like every man should be at least 200 pounds?
Yeah, Nick Norris is a big fan of him. Remember Nick? Nick he literally was force feeding himself to get up to 200 pounds. And Nick is shorter than you, I think, right?
No, they were about the same height. Yeah,
whatever. But it took a lot to get 200 pounds.
Yeah, completely different set of genetics. But he was trying to get to 200 pounds eating clean.
Yeah,
that's like virtually impossible.
Yeah,
for him his body type. But he did it. I think he looks like he's 200 now.
So the reason why I asked those questions is not to expose your weaknesses, which I'll take advantage of later. It was because when I grew up with a dad who had acquired money through entrepreneurship and a very cavalier nature, a lack of fear. And you guys know my dad comes to the studio all the time, and I'm still very close to him. But my dad, we grew up poor, and he always wanted more. Always wanted more. He's the alpha guy who education was a second thought for him, and he got a lot of education. He's got a law degree and a master's in law and all that stuff later on in life. And I think, like me, we kind of have had an appreciation for it later. But when my parents divorced, I was with my mom. My mom and I we were scrounging for change in the couch, and there's kind of a seminal moment for me where we didn't have enough money to buy a whole lot. So we found enough change in the couch, ironically in the couch, those days are far from what they are today because nobody carries change anymore, to get a Hershey bar and a 2-liter bottle of diet soda. And I'll never forget driving to the gas station to get that with my mom.
Dang.
Because we knew that it was like 20 cents cheaper there.
Wow.
With I mean, it was, and my little sister being like, an infant at the time, and how happy that simple thing made me. But to this day, I have this, no matter how much money I make or how much money I have, I just don't want to be poor.
Mm.
And I look at all these people who live these very like flashy lifestyles and spend all this money on stuff. And I think to myself, like, I'm just so happy to not be poor that I can't bring myself to spend money like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, because you can appreciate it, right? You can appreciate the freedom and the flexibility that you have.
And I don't think that there's ever going to be a point financially where I don't have that, I don't want to call it a broke person's mindset, but that gratitude that my son, that my wife, like wife last night, let's go to Cala for dinner and grab some Mexican food and whatever. Yeah. We buy what we want. We order what we want. Every single time I order food, it's never lost on me that there was a period of my life where I could not do that.
Yeah. And I think for most people, the problem is to get to that level of appreciation where buying a meal and getting whatever you want and not having to think about those kinds of things comes at a stage in life when the decisions that you made in your 20s really will guide whether you can do that or not.
But that wasn't why I did it in my 20s.
No, okay,
you know? I did it in my 20s out of a place of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the whole point of me bringing this up is that fear can be a very powerful motivator if you realize the beginning and end of it, right? I was afraid to be poor. That's the beginning. The end is I am not poor today.
Yeah.
So that does give me freedom because I don't need to take on the debt and over leverage myself to a gross degree in order to feel free. I am free now with what little I have because
Yeah.
I know I can do the things that I couldn't do when I was younger.
Right.
You know,
And that's something that I hope to teach our kids. Yeah.
well, you can always pretend to be poor and fish through change in the couch and see what happens.
I tell them all the time. Can't afford that. Sorry. Not going to happen.
I try to avoid that conversation with my son, where we don't say we can't afford that. I say we have to earn that.
Oh, we have to earn that?
And I say me too. Right?
Yeah.
He wants to go do something, and I say, well, no, we have to earn that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right, Rajeil. It's an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Good one, guys.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
Rajeil, get close to that mic. Get your face up to it. There you go. There, put it right up against your lips.
Put it right up against your lips.
Right up against your lips. Like
Get
this.
right there. Get all Barry
Calm
White.
down, Jason.
There you do. No, get in there. Stay there. Stay there.
Yeah.
Get close to it.
All right. If you want to be like Action Jackson and get your review read on the show, make sure that you leave us an honest 5-star review. If you've stuck with us this long, you please do us a favor and do so. We greatly appreciate it. We share it with each other right away. If you're watching us over on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, ring that notification bell, hit that like button, do all the moist, goody good stuff. You can leave comments on Spotify too.
You can.
Yeah.
I expect it.
Yeah. We expect
Right
it.
now.
We expect it. All right. Got anything else?
Enthusiasm side. Pick it up.
Pick it up.
Okay, bye.
Good night, everybody.